welcome to another episode of Tester Speak Season 2. And you are watching this on the YouTube channel of the Test Chat. And I'm your host, Prajesh Deb. Now, friends, there is a story that I want to share with you. And this, by uh, no means, is a story which is any less than a true filmy style thing that happened. So, a few weeks ago, rather a few months ago, I was looking for some material on API testing. And obviously, with a lot of information floating around in the internet, it is difficult to find material which is authentic, material which is genuine, which is, you know, which has been written purely by people who have been working really hard on it. Because there is a lot of material which is a copy paste, which may have been inspired by somebody else with half research and stuff like that. But I wanted to find out something which is an original work and work with a lot of examples and stuff like that. And so I was looking for material, going from one blog to the other, and I bumped into this particular blog page where I read the article once and I was like, okay, cool. And then I read it again. And by the time I read it for the third time, just to make sure, that this is something that I was really looking for, I got a connection request from the author on LinkedIn. And I got connected to the author. Okay. And within a few days, I discovered that both of us were on another community responding to the same thread of conversation that was going on in that community. So you might call it luck, you might call it destiny, you might call it whatever, or you might just call it coincidence. But what happened was that in the journey of discovering more about API testing, I discovered a person who has done a great deal of work, a lot of genuine work in the field of API testing, written some wonderful material. So, my guest today is not just a wonderful tester, but a great orator, a great writer as well, who has a lot of genuine work done for API testing. And guess what? Recently, Postman has named her Supernova. So, yeah, without any further ado, let me welcome my guest today, Priscilla. Priscilla, welcome to the show.
Hi, Vijesh. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. That was a quite interesting story and amazing as well. I really didn't expect that. It was a quite interesting part, and you never told me this before as well. So, right, it was very interesting, and thank you so much for that. Maybe that's a special reason to start off with the conversation today. And I wanted to thank you wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope we'll talk too much about testing APIs and Postman.
Of course, we will, because it is API testing is one of the biggest subjects right now. If you look at the whole testing world, I mean, I know people are talking about AI, machine learning,
Mm, mm,
and all those fancy jargons, if I may call it
mm,
that way. But there is a lot of work that is still required to be done in the areas of API testing, in the areas of testing in the lower layers, a lot of things to be done for testing in the back end.
mm,
One of the other, in my opinion, lesser important subject as per people is data warehouse testing. Yeah, it is important. Okay, it is important. Backend testing, database testing. Uh, Not so much attention is paid, in my opinion, to that. Yes, there are a lot of articles. There is a lot of research going on, but as people start discovering that an application testing is not just about the UI, but you have to go deeper and test more and more, then people will realize the importance of testing in the in the middle with the APIs, and then in the back end with the database or the data warehouse with which you are interacting. So, you know, API testing is big. I mean, organizations have transitioned from having monolithic applications to having microservices based applications. We are seeing more and more applications adopting that style of product building. So what you're doing is incredible. Uh, so before we dig a little deeper, tell us your story. How did you get started with testing?
It's like not something like so fancy, like like majority of crowd, like even I too accidentally landed into testing. So, but I'm not regretting it so. It was like back in 2011. So I was like, after finishing my college, it was an off-campus interview I had to attend in, and Cognizant is my first company. So I placed in as in through the off-campus interview. That was a very quiet, hard experience, and finally getting through in an MNC, it was a sheer joy, I would say. And after that, you know how people split into batches there, right? So just like that, my friends went into .NET and into Java, and I landed into testing. So it just started that how. And honestly, back in those days, we know about IT, but nothing specifically related to like we have these many kinds of departments, and this is going to be like this. And there was no too much of how to say the transparency. But somehow that is one point I envy today's generation kids. They are too much good at contributing to open source, and they are way much sharper. Like I always think like there is something to learn from these generation passed outs and all. So in that way, like the testing career started, and my first client, I was working for a insurance based client, like for United States. And it was a good experience. I had the first the few days were a little bit tough, and after that I got into some kind of, how to say, like I had a very good mentor. My first lead was a very good person. So from him, like I learned too many things. Literally, even like the drafting mails, I'll be sitting back to him, and he'll be just showing, so this is how you should do and all. That was a really good experience I had with him. And just on a like a personal note, right, still I remember one incident where I did an update query without a where condition. So that was one thing which I couldn't forget. So I had a very cool person at my on-site that time. Okay, so that guy, he was telling to me like he didn't scold me because he knew I'm too young, like I'm fresh out of college. So he just told me, Priscilla, come here. What did you do? Have you studied SQL before? Yeah, I said, yeah, I did. Okay, so what happened here? I forgot the where condition. I have to give some specific ID there. Then he just explained to me. After this is okay because this is a test database. Okay, so this is the place where testers are going to play around. But once you grow up, you'll be having different environments. You'll be given access to the stage, and one day even production. So you should be very cautious of the activity which you are going to do. So he reminded me that day, like after this, whenever you're going to execute a query, like which is so important, I should come to your mind. So after that, still they, whenever I execute a like update statement, still my on-site coordinator will come to my mind. He'll always remind me, because maybe Rajesh, that day, if he was so hard and he scolded me or he was so harsh on me, I wouldn't have this kind of a very good memory which I can carry through and which I can cherish all my life. But that was a very good experience still I had, and still I remember one of my earlier days, right? Because we were too young and we were like so much scared to talk to people even. So I never forget that event. So after that, that was a very good learning experience for me. And that testing experience, so from there it started, like then they understood like, okay, so this girl is totally new, so we have to give her some space to learn new things and all. So luckily my first project was also so cool. I learned to handle like the front end and the integration part, that is where I got to know about the the types of testing also which we have. So wherein this integration comes in a picture. And after that, it was overall cool. Like I had many chances to explore myself, and the leads were like the persons whomever I had in my life. Of course, touchwood, I'm so lucky. I learned too many things from them. Until now, like the mentors, whomever like was in my journey were been like with me like in the past company or in the present company. Every day I'm learning something new, and I literally cherish all those moments with them. So I'm not like still till date I'm not regretting anything about testing. I'm so happily doing, and I'm happily doing testing with whatever work we do, like even it is a household chores or something, wherever it will be like that tester's attitude is always being carried on. So a kind of passionate and a proud tester, I would say.
Well, nice. So you then moved over from Chennai to KL, is it?
Mm, mm, yeah, correct.
What's that story?
Okay, that that was like okay. So after marriage, like my husband was working here in Malaysia, so he asked me to resign my job. Like then I told him like of course the first company is always close to heart, right? So I told no, I have something here, and we had some plans also like for the visas and all. I was waiting for my H1B and all. So I told him like maybe this is not the right time. Maybe you can stay here and I'll be there in India. But he told for a while he accepted. So after marriage, like I was continuing my work in India and he was here. And then it was a very short time. I had to flew back here. I was staying few months in Malaysia. So then I went back for my pregnancy. I continued my work with Cognizant back again there. My managers are so understanding. I went back into the same project even I was pregnant. And based on that, like how to say, they were like so much caring, and they knew about totally me, right? So they gave back the same project to me. I was so happy during that time also. And after delivery I took a break. Then my husband told it's okay, you can leave your job over there and come back permanently. Before that I was like flying back here, Malaysia and India. We were so frequently flying back here and there. Then I had to resign my job over there, and in 2018 December is my last day with Cognizant. So I resigned it back, and we came here by January. And then after a few months, I got a new job with Millennium, and right now I'm working as a senior QA engineer here. So it's currently like more than like 2 years. I'm continuously staying in Malaysia.
Good, that's nice, right? Family reunion.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, nice. Okay, great, great story. So, so like I was saying in the introduction, that I've seen some very interesting work that you've been doing with API testing, especially with Postman. Why did you choose API testing?
Sometimes it's not the technology or the tools which we choose, right? Sometimes they choose us, right? So it's maybe in that category, I can say. We were like forced to learn that. Mm, and literally, my lead, the lead which I'm working for my Millennium, right? He is the kind of person like he was not okay. Our team is actually integration team. The name is integration. So he was not okay with testing the front end. So he told them, like, we don't want to do this front end testing. You have a specific team for that. So I want my team to do the integration testing, which is the API testing, which you are expecting us to do. So we want to test the APIs. Then, of course, then before that, we need to have some expertise, right? The tool as such, the client is using Postman. So we need to have some expertise. So he trained us, like, behind the screens. He trained us in Postman every day. He used to give some task and he used to train us every day. And once we are in a good shape, now we can literally fight with them. And we told them, like, we're not going to test the front ends hereafter. Like, if you want to test the front end, please have a specific team, or even we can split the team. But right now we want to have all the APIs. We need access and all those things. So that's how we started. So we got access to all those APIs, and Once we are good with the tool and once we understood the concept, then we started a little bit automation as well. So it's a gradual process, I would say, Brijesh. It's not literally, it's not a one day thing which happened. It's a very gradual process. First, I still remember the day I started with Postman. They just gave a documentation, and based on that documentation, you have to proceed. What is this documentation? I know, like functional spec we know. And then that we have seen the pages of requirement document, right? So what is this thing? They call it as API documentation. We literally never understood anything from that. So we were like going through that again and again, and then lots and lots of research, I would say. So maybe that research is what coming out right now as blogs or something. So lots and lots of research we had to see and we had to do on. And then I understood, okay, so based on this documentation, I'm the one, I need to build a request. That request is going to hit an endpoint and that is going to give me a response. So I have a habit of always making a bigger picture, Brijesh. I will never settle down until I get that bigger picture, right? I'll never settle down. So I started building my own stories and I tried to understand, okay, so this is where it is coming in a picture. Okay, now I understood what this documentation is all about. Then I was thinking, like, what this documentation, why this documentation, what is the use of testing these APIs? So that is where I started exploring more and more. Then I understood, like, oh my god, so the world is full of APIs, and this is why people are talking too much about APIs, and they talk about so many jargons which the business level, the leadership is talking, right? The APIs are going to have some digital transformation. They are really going to rule the world. Then I understood, okay, so this is the reason. Once you have your APIs in place, whomever comes into market, they can directly interact with your application using the APIs. So that is why they are talking too much about APIs. Then I thought this is, of course, very cool thing, right? And I love JSON, actually. I love the JSON format, and also I thought it's better, like invest some time. I used to spend a lot of time after hours also. I used to spend, and I learned so many things. Completely, I started falling in love with APIs, I should say. I started falling in love with API. And to get that love, there should be like a person who is literally helping you, right? So that is Postman, I would say. Postman gave me a feeling like, okay, because APIs are something which is like a ghost. You can never fail it or touch it, right? So Postman will give you that feeling, right? Okay, so this is a front end. So this is how it looks like. So you can see the response code here. So once you get that look and feel, now I could relate it. Okay, so once I'm going to hit my endpoint, here I can see my response code here. I can see my response time here. So all those things. So in that way, the tool was totally helpful. And there is a saying, right? So when you were in a struggle times, or when you were something like in your low period of time, you should have a friend and you will never forget that friend. So Postman was one kind of tool, like, because in that place, when we started with the documentation and started with the automation, like the test data and the API testing, I really don't know if there was any other tool. Maybe I would have fallen in love with that too, since I had Postman. So that is a strong relationship between me and Postman. Like the earlier days was um, like, how to say, so much resourceful and fruitful because of that tool, and plenty of tutorials were available, right? So I was easily going through that, and I did all those things. So that is the relationship between APIs, Postman, and myself. So maybe a triangular relationship.
Well, no, that is a beautiful story, and the way you show the passion with which you've been working towards it. And but let me ask you this, okay? I heard a thing, and I want to confirm that with you. Is it true that you've been finding bugs in Postman itself?
Okay, because it's every tool has their own like, how to say, pros and cons, right? So in that way, like initial days when I had some doubts, I was so, like, I was thinking whether to log this or not. Then I found like Postman is having a GitHub repo explicitly for tracking their feature request and issues the users are facing in, because, and some defects or something like which I might have, like only my machine or something related to my machine. So the people are so responsive, like when I'm logging those in the community, the GitHub forum also, I got to know so many good people. They were really helpful. And now all these things started building my confidence as well. Okay, so these guys are listening. So, and even the feature request, it's not just about bugs. You can, even if you feel like something better needs to be added and something in based upon your project, if you need something to be added, you can definitely place a feature request. The people are listening. I always believe like you grew up uh, way too much when you are going into listener mode whenever needed, right? You should also go to a listener mode. You can be a like very good speaker, or you are somehow an introvert, whatever, but you should go to a listener mode when it is really needed. And you should, as a tester, I always believe I should know when I should go for that listener mode, when I should go for a speaker mode, right? So those kind of listener mode is really helping me nowadays. And the Postman is really doing a good job because of that listener mode. They listen to people and they respond to us. So that is one of the secret of their success, I believe. They are really doing a good job. So right now, yeah, Brijesh, and not only the defects, like some things even you can ask in the community forum also, because some issues may be specifically to your machine and we might not be able to fix it also. The community forum is also doing a great job. So it's going this way.
How many bugs have you logged?
I think it's so far six, Rajesh. And I'm not sure, like one thing we have, one defect was something specific to a certain set of users. I still remember that bug. When I logged it, there was no comments, and Danny was also replying me, Priscilla, can you try all those things? Is it working? And I was like, no, it was not working for me. I asked my team members also, have any of them facing the same issue? They said, no, maybe your postman needs some rest. My teammate was kidding me. Okay. So I said, okay, okay, it's all fine. Then slowly, then I told Danny, like, it's sometime after a restart or something, after a few days, it started working. Then I told Danny, like, okay, Danny, it's working now. Maybe we can close it. Then Danny closed it. Then after that, again, the issue popped up. Then I closed it. Then I went there and I told Danny, I'm still facing that issue. What can we do? Luckily, another user popped in. Then he told I too have a same issue. Then now, since few many users had the same issue, then the supporting was very helpful. I logged in a support issue and they really contacted me. I shared them few logs, and after some, I think after the next version itself, it got fixed, and it seems it is seamlessly working now. So this is something which will give you a good feeling, right? People are listening to you, and they want you to contribute to them. So that is one special feeling I always have to them.
Well, this is quite interesting because a lot of us, when we look at tools for automating our tests, we think about making our life easy and saying, okay, this tool might help us build our framework better. But if I look at the other side, okay, how many of us actually think about contributing to that tool itself? Contributing. You said that you've seen this generation contribute a lot towards open source projects and building, the tools or scaling them up or making them better. And of course, we all can take the best example of our good friend Sanjay. He's done some excellent work with Selectors Hub. Cannot go without a mention. So
Exactly.
what he has done is he's built something which helps so many testers, do better
Mm.
at their work. So it's not just something that you use a tool for making your project stuff work, but what is your contribution in making that tool better or making something that will help other testers do better, right? And that way, I think your contribution to the Postman community or to the tool itself is immensely valuable, not just in terms of improvements in the product, but also talking about it, but also doing that, writing about it. And of course, I will put a link to your blog in the description of this video. so that people can learn more about your work. And of course, your contact information I will share, because I'm sure a lot of testers are going to want to know, your secret, your secret ingredient, okay, if I may call it, of the recipe of your success with Postman. And Postman is just one tool. Maybe you can do it with other tools. Okay, I have seen people do some great work with other tools as well. I will mention the name. There is another girl. Her name is Priyanka Brahmane. She's doing a great deal of work with a tool called Karate DSL. Again, an open source tool. Uh, a lot of contribution is happening. She's doing her own research, trying to find out, working on it, evolving and making it better. Okay, so so there are people who are not just using the tool for their personal benefit, but are also contributing, and that is where I think the testing community needs to start thinking about. Okay, that we should not just use tools to make our life easy. It is better if we make everybody's life easy together.
Exactly, Rajesh.
So,
Just to add on that, right? Maybe like many have the problem is like, as we always say, most of us have this starting trouble. So we have this hesitant to go or not go. Like to go or not go call, okay, we understand that has to be taken by your production build, but not in your life or not in your activities. So one tip which I can like provide here is like, um, we should first develop the habit of like expressing your views. If you think maybe this is a kind of like small point. Everybody is like being a avid online purchaser nowadays, right? So how many of us are really like commenting back about your product? How many of us you're giving your feedback about your product, if it is good or if it is not good? Because somehow or some way that is going to help another user to save their money. You're going to save their time.
absolutely.
Think in that aspect. But this is a very simple point. Just like a few seconds, a few minutes, you're going to take it. But start with that, I would say. Start with that. If you're purchasing something, good or bad, try to give a feedback. And not only with that, like whatever sessions and whatever tools, if they are asking you for feedback, we'll definitely delete that mail. The first point. Please, that is somehow going to help somebody, like even if it is a customer care executive, whatever if it is. Try to first provide the feedback first. Try to express what you feel. That is one point which I always think like, which is going to help you. And of course, you're professional and professional in your personal way. It has impact on both the things, I would say. So start with that. And the second point can be like, join the communities first. You don't need to speak at first. First join, listen. There will be a question at one point where you can answer. Not every questions, of course, we cannot answer, but there will be one question where you can answer, because definitely few months back or few years back, you would have faced the same problem, and you might have been hitting your mind for so long to find a solution. That in where the user is actually going to pitch in. Now he'll really think, okay, maybe I am the right person to help now. Okay, so that is how it started. All the things even with my career, I'm not too much of community person. I was even aware, Rajesh, it's nothing harm in admitting as such. I was even not even aware. Even with the Postman community, when I started commenting on the post, first, okay, I'm searching something, I'm getting the answers. I'll get my answers and I'll go back to work. That's it. And I felt like, what is this thing? Okay. Then I logged in. I had an account. Then I was seeing people are asking questions. I literally had doubt whether I can post or not, whether I can answer or not. I was not used to these kind of communities before. So I was really having too much of hesitation. Then I thought, like, this is the same problem I fixed few days back. Why can't I provide my code snippet? That is going to ultimately save his time. If he needs to tweak it, or if it is even not useful for him, because based on the question and based on the like the details which he has provided, it seems like the same issue I had. I started providing. So that is where it started. Why I'm telling honestly, all these things are like, definitely there will be many persons and many testers, like awesome testers, they'll be having the same hesitance like what I have right now. I want them all to come out of that cliche attitude which we have right now. I want them to break all those things. So that is the reason I'm sharing it all honestly. There is nothing like I'm like not good to share and all. I literally, because I know somewhere or some other this is going to help them. Definitely they'll think about it, right? So okay, so this is what she told, right? Even she had the same problem. Nothing harm in commenting. Just it's going to take a 1 minute or 2 minutes. I'll just tell if it is useful, let him use it. If it is not useful to him, another user might search it and he might see my response. So that is how the attitude develops. So this is one thing I always wanted to highlight, Brijesh.
Excellent. Think I think that is probably one of the finest responses uh, I have heard. And you know, the very fact that you mentioned about giving feedback to your online purchases, or even to when you have these calls with customer care executives, and they say that, okay, after the call, you will get a message, just respond to that with the feedback, or a follow up call for feedback, just respond to that. I mean, a lot of times we just ignore it, or we delete the message, or do whatever. I think you've nailed it with that point. That, you know, that feedback is so important. Is so important because on one side we keep complaining that we are not getting better service. If you don't provide feedback, how can you expect better service? It's
Exactly.
as simple as that, right? And the
Exactly.
same thing with communities as well. I mean, during the introduction, I told the audience that you know, we discovered that both of us were in another community trying to respond to the same thread of conversation that was going on, because I, I think was it Sarah Miller's post? It was
Yeah.
Sarah Miller's
Yeah,
post
Brijesh. Correct.
on the testing community, and a big shout out to my friend Tristan Lombard
Yeah.
having me in that community. That is another fantastic community, and he's doing a phenomenal job. The way he connects people is just absolutely mind blowing. Um, so it was that thread, and then she asked a question, and there were multiple perspectives, and
I
then
think it's about quality of culture.
yeah, quality culture
Yeah.
in
Quality
organization.
culture. Yeah.
And when you read that thread, you get so many perspectives. You learn, it could be
True.
that way also.
Mm.
Right? It's not
Yeah.
just that what I am thinking is the right thing.
Mm.
Okay, I may have had a background. I may
Mm.
have been working in a company for a long time, 10 years. People spend 10, 15 years in the same organization.
Mm.
They are tuned to that certain culture. But when you go participate in these forums, you know, respond to posts, okay, read the other responses, then you're like, oh my God, this is how other people are also thinking. And this could
Absolutely.
also be a possible solution,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
that is absolutely well put, that, you know, you go and put out your perspective. It may be useful to that person immediately, or somebody else who might be looking.
Yes.
So I think
Definitely.
that is very well put, Priscilla. Thank you so much for that piece of advice.
Thank you,
Uh,
Pradesh.
so I want to ask you something more about this, this tool that you've been working with, Postman. So, is Postman the only solution for API testing?
No, Brajesh, no, it's not that way. Like, market has too many number of tools. Okay,
How do
so
I
there
choose?
is nothing. Sorry,
So, how do I choose the tool?
how do I choose it? It's maybe one solution. Of course, doing a POC work. Based on that, you get to know the pros and cons of the tool, because just by reading the blogs, you will definitely never understand that. So don't stop with that, because literally even I had hands-on with few other tools like Catalan, Rest Assured API and all. But go for that POC. That will literally tell you, because when I had this Rest Assured API, right, I could literally relate it. Okay, I have already experience with Selenium IDE. So that was quite easy to me. But think about a user who are totally new to coding, who doesn't have any experience with any IDEs before. How will they feel with rest assured? So all these things, and then you have to think about your team as well. So how many in your team has a real experience with IDE? So these kind of points will come only when you do your POC work. There is nothing harm in investing your time for your POC, right? Because that should be strong enough. So I always think like, and no harm in asking help for that time also. Um, if you're starting your POC work, go to a public forum, LinkedIn, or whatever community which you are active in, ask them, get the list of tools, prioritize it, rate it, read your blogs, and after reading the blogs go for your POC, because without POC there is because as you say, like I might feel Postman is the best tool based on my client and my organization requirements. Somebody feels some other tool, but I cannot advise it for them, right? They have to do their own POC work and they have to go for it. So, and one thing I want to highlight is like, as a tester, you should never be comfortable and get adapted to one tool. So that one I always say, and the basics are strong. Basics should be strong, like because if in even if in automation or API testing, data warehouse testing, whatever it is, get the basics strong. The technical jargons which the developer are going to use, just get the basics strong. Whatever tool you are given in, just in overnight or in few days or in at least in a month, any tester can learn it. So there is nothing related to tool specific. I want the testers to be strong in your basics. Understand the jargons. Don't blink when the developers talk about something. We have to ask questions. We have to equally speak those jargons with them. They have to, oh, okay. So how about example I'm just telling about this APIs. Like, okay, so have you handled all the error codes properly? Like explicitly for this kind of situation, I should expect only this unauthorized error, right? Why I'm getting a bad request error? So these kind of questions you have to start asking technically, and only then the developer will also be aware. And the next time when he is giving a build, he'll think, okay, so this guy or this girl knows better. I have to think better, and I have to do a better unit testing. So all these things comes up with that. So that is my takeaway here. Be strong in your basics. Any tool or any technology, like whatever it is, once you are strong in your basics, even it's from testing, like you definitely you should know your testing basics. Once you are strong in your basics, uh, there is the tool cannot, like how to say, you are not so much customized, like so much centered to a tool. Any tool you can just roll it.
Now I want to ask you something.
Mm,
So if I look at a modern day job description,
mm, mm,
it is all about tools.
mm, mm,
Okay, you must know Selenium for front end testing.
mm,
You
mm,
know Postman rest assured for
mm,
your API testing. You must uh, have knowledge and experience in database testing, and
mm,
you must be a brilliant, smart
mm,
uh, person knowing the inside out SQL queries,
mm,
deal with the transactions with the backend. Uh, it's always tools and technologies. Why
mm,
is
mm.
nobody talking about testing? What is testing not?
Because yeah, Brajesh, I will also think in that perspective, because maybe they have started thinking in maybe in your aspect, like there is nothing called manual testing. So maybe that is one point, like they're not even like mentioning about it. But till date I'm seeing like 10 out of 2 at least. The job description is, it'll be very crisp and clear. They'll start from testing, they'll end with the reporting or the CI/CD process. That is like maybe that is one kind which is going to represent them as well. And right now, maybe if I'm in that organization, I can educate them like testing is important. And always, right, just JDs or something some other person is going to give, and they're just going to copy paste in the LinkedIn forum. So we cannot go and fight with them as well, literally.
No,
So
I will share this with you, Priscilla.
mm,
A lot of times I ask these questions to
mhm,
recruiters that okay, you posted this. Have you
mm,
tried to get this verified?
mm,
Or could you tell me who the hiring manager is so that I can go and
mm,
talk to them? That this
mm,
job
mhm,
description is absolutely weird. I am not blaming the recruiters at all. Okay,
mm, mm,
somebody from the HR world, somebody from the
mm,
recruitment world, they don't
mm,
know anything about testing. I don't expect them
mm.
to know about testing.
Exactly.
They know about recruitment.
Mm, mm,
That is what I would expect them to know about.
mm.
They don't know
Right.
anything about testing. So if they get a job description, they don't know anything about these tools. They will say, okay, probably this is what they want. So they put this out.
Mm,
But I
mm,
would like to
mm,
speak to the hiring managers.
mm,
And
mm,
who are these hiring managers? Do you know? It is us.
mm, mm.
It is us,
Yeah.
the testers, who are making these job descriptions.
Mm,
Okay, so when we get into a position, a little senior position,
mm,
when we get
mm,
into these hiring roles, we should pay
mm,
attention to these facts.
mm, mm, mm. True.
I mean, you create a job description full of automation tools,
Mm,
and you
mm,
might get the person who fits into your job description. You hire him, you keep him in a job. And what comes
mm,
out is somebody who's a tools expert who knows nothing about testing.
mm,
So it's not, it's I mean, people are so focused on trying to get the results for their test automation that they leave the basics of testing out. How do you test? Okay, how do you so people talk about, okay, I want to learn, like for example, yesterday there was a question in the test check community. I want to learn about uh, I want to learn better test case writing. Why
okay.
do you
Mm,
want to learn better ways of writing test cases? Why don't you
mm,
learn better ways of designing test cases, designing your
mm,
tests?
mm, mm, mm,
Instead of focusing on test case writing, why don't you focus on test design?
mm.
That will solve a lot of your problems.
That's true.
So
So I agree. I agree, Brajesh, because maybe one thought, like right now, most of the people have, anybody can do testing. So maybe that is one reason we are completely ignoring this. Like anybody can do testing. Like, oh, why should I hire a specialized tester? Anybody can do testing. Even this developer, no, after developing this, even he can do testing. So that kind of aspect they have. So but one thing we should be proud of, like as you see nowadays, we have too many gems coming out. Like the testers are really proving the world, like we can do much more better. I really hope after a few years, and the younger generation is also doing a very good job, right? So maybe a few years they will definitely get to understand because right now I cannot completely agree. Not every organization is understanding or completely understanding the importance of testing, which is required for them. So maybe in few years, once the testers are really growing up like this and we show up like we are much more than what you guys expect. So once we prove them all these things, right, definitely they'll get to understand that. And regarding that note which you said, like of course, when it comes to us, we should be the person starting the change, right? So definitely, even I'll make sure that I'm doing that hereafter. I'll first point will be like manual testing, like not sorry, not with you this word. So testing basics, you should be software testing, the testing basics, the metrics, because I am so much focused on this. So metrics and all those things I'll ensure that I'm doing this in
well,
future.
you mentioned metrics. One person who's going to be very happy is our good friend Srinivas Kantipudi.
Uh-huh.
He he's the metrics guy.
uh,
Well, Srinivas, a big shout out to you as well. I mean, you know, I have so Srinivas, if you want to get the best out of him, you just poke him. Okay.
okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Then it comes out, all the gems come out. So we've had discussions, and I'm like, no, I don't like metrics. Metrics are
Mm-hmm.
not useful at all. And I
Mm-hmm.
on purpose I went on doing it, and then he
Mm-hmm.
wrote a big post in the Telegram
Yeah.
chat. And it was like at least 2 3 posts combined, and it was
Mm-hmm.
it was worthy of going as a LinkedIn article. I don't know if he's put it
Uh-huh.
there or not.
He couldn't
But
digest it, what you said, right? Yeah.
yeah, so
Uh,
well, talking about Srinivas, but Srinivas is uh, a guest on the Ask Me Anything episode happening next week. So
mhm.
guys, if you really want to get a piece of Srinivas, you must check it out next Friday. Srinivas
Okay.
is going to be there. It's a lot of fun to get him
Mm,
get get his mind going, and when he talks about it. So so just coming back to this particular discussion, uh, uh, we what we have been doing, or what we have been seeing, is a trend where there is a lot of focus on tools, technology, and things. And as you said, that in whatever you do, whether you are doing testing with tools or without tools, focus on the basics. Okay, understand the application architecture. Sit with the developer, sit with the architect, and say, okay, please explain, what is this? What kind of a monster is this? Right? Please explain to me these little interfaces. How do they interact? What are the integration points? How are these talking to each other? And in doing so, you will discover that they will inadvertently talk about the APIs, because those are the programming interfaces. Right? They will talk about those and say, okay, you know what? This little magic that you see is happening because of this API. Right? And then okay, so if I have to test this particular feature, I have to put my attention in testing this API and the integration of this API with the rest of the, you know, rest of the APIs, or the front end or the back end. Then it will give you better ideas to test. So until unless you talk to the developers, you talk to your architects, your work, in my opinion, is half done. Right? Testing doesn't happen in a silo. It is not an activity that only testers can do.
mm,
And that uh, people say quality is everybody's responsibility. Nobody tells you how. Do you know how, Priscilla?
So how it is everybody's responsibility, you're asking?
Yeah.
Mm, how it's okay. How to achieve it? Okay, of course, it's everybody's responsibility. Even I agree with that statement. I cannot deny that. Maybe like once everybody is realizing exactly what are their roles and responsibilities. Like if I am very clear about what I am going to do, I believe like my product will definitely come out so good. So maybe in that aspect, like starting from the BAs, if they all started to think in that way and not like so much blindfolded, if they started to have a big picture, and if they like started writing the requirements in that way, definitely I believe like we can arrest it to some extent. But the tester guys, right? We are so crazy, like we will think of the out of box scenario which will never happen, which might not even happen, and we will say like, of course this is not as even I do that, because that might be some scenario which it hits my mind, because I cannot stop my mind, because all these years it was trained to be that way. I trained my brain, and it's in a tester's mindset now, so I cannot change that. So maybe that time, unless and until I get a convincing answer, okay, I want to close the defect. Okay, your answer seemed convincing and not okay, but I'll be like capturing a comment very clearly. uh, this is how he or she mentioned. Okay, so but this issue still exists, but they say again, they'll say I'll say they're not ready to resolve it. Okay, I'm closing it. So I'll always close, because they say the scenario is not going to happen. In that case I'll agree, but sometimes some people will definitely come and bluff, and they want to close that defect, right? So in that case, like I'll not waste my time fighting with them. I'll just very clearly I'll add my comments and screenshot, and I'll just close it. So it happened.
Well, so you said that you agree with quality is everybody's responsibility. I don't agree with it. You
Why
know,
is it so?
I think it is the sentence needs to be modified a little.
Mm,
People say quality is everybody's responsibility. I say quality
mm.
assurance is everybody's responsibility.
Okay. Okay. So one step
People say
ahead.
people say people say QA, and when you ask them what is QA, QA could mean anything, right?
Mm, mm,
QA QA could mean anything at all. It
mm,
could mean quality assurance, quality analysis, quality advocate,
mm,
everything to do with quality. And it could mean quickly answered. It could mean quit asking. It could mean whatever. So QA for me is not a title that I would prefer. But if you're
mhm.
talking about quality assurance, and if you're thinking that testers are supposed to assure quality, it doesn't happen. Testers cannot assure quality. Simple.
Okay. Mm,
Quality assurance is the responsibility collectively of all the people who are working on that product,
mm,
which includes the architects, the developers, the
mm,
business analysts,
mm,
the product owners, the testers, everybody together.
mm, mm, mm.
That's my perspective. I'm open
Yeah.
for discussion. I'm open for debate. We can trigger the minds of a lot of other people. Well, a lot of serious discussion on testing. Now I wanted to do something different. So I will do a rapid fire with you. Okay.
Okay.
So two questions. You get only 5 seconds to think about an answer.
Okay.
And if there are multiple choices or multiple choice, then you have to tell me the reason for that choice. Okay, you choose something and then
Okay. Mm,
first question:
mm.
favorite city, Coimbatore, Madurai, Chennai, or KL?
Coimbatore.
Why?
Mm. The climate, the people, language.
Isn't it the same in KL as well? The climate?
No, no. The climate, no, I couldn't say that way. It's not as bad as Chennai,
Not as bad.
not as good as, yeah, not as good as Coimbatore. So please, guys, the Chennai guys don't come for fighting. I'm talking about the weather. So not so good as Coimbatore. So Coimbatore has some emotional connect, Rajesh. So that city is totally, I love it.
Okay, what is Priscilla's favorite food?
Biryani, nothing else. Blindly biryani. People say it's an emotion, right? Of course, biryani is an emotion for me as well.
Good. And what does Priscilla like to do when she's not having fun with Postman?
If it is not with Postman, maybe after work, it will be definitely my family time. Other than that, right now, maybe Netflix.
What's your favorite Netflix series?
I have completed recently, like this Queen of South. I liked it. I am a kind of person who's like romantic comedy is okay, but I watch all these murder thriller series. I am I, I feel that adrenaline rush when I watch that. So and that kind
Murder mysteries and all those.
of
No, that,
yeah.
that's a good genre. I like it sometimes. Okay, I
Mm,
like, of course,
mm,
anything to do with crime investigation.
mm, mm,
There's this popular series called Crime Scene Investigation, CSI
mhm,
Miami, and CSI,
mm,
all those.
mm,
So I have watched a lot of episodes of those, not all of them, and I used to love those.
mhm.
They go into the mines and then how the way they investigate. Even on Indian television, okay, some of the episodes of our favorite serial, Crime Patrol.
Mm,
I,
mhm. Yeah, I know.
I have watched them, but after a point, it gets too much. Okay, it plays
Okay.
really heavily on your mind. So I've
Mm,
kind of stopped watching those for now because
mhm,
these are different times. So
mm,
I want to watch something else. Yeah, rom-coms. Yeah, that's a good genre. Oh, yeah, sometimes yes. you can.
Yeah, sometimes we need a break, Brajesh, and it depends upon my mood as well. Like, because I'll have certain things in my list. Definitely, how I feel that day, that depends upon that. I'll play that. But favorite genre is always thriller. I cannot deny that.
For me, it's the best thing for me to do is to come sit and watch a Govinda movie. You don't
Uh-huh.
have to think. You do you don't have
Okay.
to think. You just sit there, watch. I am a huge fan of
Uh,
of 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 of,
okay.
of his films. I don't know. It's just you don't you are not thinking at all. You're just sitting there.
Mm,
You know,
mm, mm,
if you just imagine that you're watching it for the first time, even if you're watching it for the 10th time, you just imagine that
mm,
you're watching it for the first time, then there will be
mm.
moments in the movie which will make you laugh genuinely. Okay? And there are some genuine laughter moments, and that is what I look for, because after a day's hard work or hard grind is
Mm,
something that
true.
needs to calm it down, and for me it's nothing better than
Mm,
a movie, or maybe a movie from Amol Palekar's time, like a
mm-hmm.
Golmaal or Baatu,
Okay.
something like that, so those movies, they just make you laugh, they just make you like feel very
Mm,
relaxed.
mm.
I,
That's true.
I'm into
That's
those
true.
kind of.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, this is good to know that you like watching murder mysteries. So next time, I have a doubt. All right, fun conversation. And I think we've been speaking for quite some time. So,
Mm,
but before I let you go, I want to ask you,
mm.
what is your piece of advice to young testers who are picking up testing as a profession?
Okay. Okay. We'll just list it down as points. First thing is like uh, learning. You should always have that learning fire or learning spirit in you. Be open. That applicable to your personal and professional life as well. Be a broad-minded person. So be not. No, don't be specific like I have to learn this and I'll be only focusing on this. Testing has various like flavors to explore and do that. So first thing will be like keep up your learning spirit, and you can pair up with a friend or you can find your mentor, like where you can learn a lot from them and you can contribute as well. And then join the communities, be an active member, even if you are not open or extrovert person who doesn't speak much. Learn, start to do from day one. Definitely you can do it one day. And what I can say, next one, be honest. There is because this is not something like a personal life where we are going to put some polish to words. Make sure you are conveying your thoughts in a polite manner. That's it. But you should be honest. I always believe this has to be in that way. Be polite, but be honest. I know these two things are some for some in some situations these two will be totally opposite. You cannot be polite and you cannot be honest at the same time. But try to make it, and that is very important, I would say. And other than that, what else I can say? Learn from everybody. Don't ignore, even if it is not on a personal note, guys. Like even if you have a good manager or a bad manager, there is always something to learn from them. So just make a note. Be in a positive aspect. Think like. Even if your manager is not good with you, definitely he or she will have some good qualities where you can learn from them. So always try to find the good in the bad. So that is one thing will help you to have a happy life, both in personal and professional way. I think that's all, Brajesh. So just to sum up, it's like earlier we started talking about, start giving feedbacks, whatever it is which we are going to purchase, or it's going to be a customer care call, whatever which we discussed. Find a mentor or pair up with your friend. Keep up your learning spirit. be an active member. At least from this day, join the communities. There are lots and lots of communities who are doing a very good job, and some communities are specialized in something. They have their unique way of doing things, right? So just to learn and understand more about that, and have your brain and mind like open. Both should be like in an open mindset. uh, Even if it is good or bad, take good things. Don't judge people for anything. I know it's very tough and thing, but on a personal and professional note, this statement will definitely help you in lot ways. Don't judge people. Just accept them the way they are. Try to learn from them. Whatever it is, whatever they are doing to you, try to learn from them. Be calm and be patient. Be polite. Be honest.
Well, thank you for highlighting some of the things from the test chat community. We believe in doing some unique things, like you said. So there are some communities which do unique work. Yeah, we do these interviews where testers
Seriously.
like you come and share their journey,
Yeah.
so that other testers can get inspired by the journey. And I'm sure a lot of people will reach out to you for collaboration. And we were discussing previously off the recording that there should be something collaborative that we
Mm.
could possibly start working on. So maybe I can connect with you and with a few other testers, and we could design some sort of a collaborative workshop, maybe for
Sure.
everybody, for us
Sure.
to work together and learn. I'm sure a lot of other testers are looking for some kind of an opportunity like that, and then we can take it to the rest of the world. You know,
Definitely.
um, uh, you know, and you're spot on in terms of saying about not judging somebody else. Uh, that is something that we have made it very clear in the house rules of the test chat community. You come and
Mm.
talk. Nobody's going to judge you. It's absolutely fine. Okay, all of us at some level have some deficiency in terms of knowledge. We are not perfect.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not perfect. I don't know
Mm.
everything. Okay, I may miss some things. I may stand corrected at a lot of times, which is absolutely fine. Okay, I do not know everything. Okay, I and that and at the same time, if I am trying to judge somebody, then at the same time I'm also getting judged, right? So I should be aware of that. So for me, what works best is not to judge other people. You know, let's just let them be, what they are, and like you said, accept people the way they are. That is the best that we can do. Well,
Definitely. But it is tough, Prajesh. It's not that easy. Of course, it is tough,
absolutely,
but it comes by practice. I'm telling
absolutely,
as if you're learning new things every day. Even this thing you have to practice in your life, which will be once you start practicing, you will get to really understand how much it is helpful in your personal and professional life.
absolutely. It comes with a lot of practice. And it needs to be applied to your personal and professional life.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay.
Seriously.
Um, Reminds me of the movie English. Okay. Uh,
Mm.
in the last speech given by
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. See,
you shouldn't be judgmental,
it's a very nice movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it reminds me of that. And you know not being judgmental is a very tough thing to do in life, because we form our opinions so quickly
Mm,
about things, about people, without knowing what situations they are in.
mm, mm,
And
mm.
that's a really tough part. Well, okay, so thank you for all that advice. It was absolutely fantastic talking to you. Some beautiful stories. You have been doing amazing work for the testing community. Keep up all the brilliant work that you've been doing. Keep inspiring everyone like you have been. So, I want to congratulate you for being named as a supernova by
Thank you,
by the
Prajesh.
postman community. They recognize your work, and that's exactly what testers can achieve. That their work gets recognized by different communities. So, excellent,
Seriously.
It was a
Thank you so much,
thank
Rajesh.
you so much, Priscilla, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You are making us all feel like a celebrity. So thank you so much for this series, actually. So it is too good and so much thoughtful for doing this. And I know time doesn't come for free, everybody. So thank you so much for your time as well, Rajesh, and for all the good work you're doing. Keep doing and keep like contributing. Like we are of course inspired by people like you, Mahesh. All these people are like so much, you guys are like so much to me. Like I learn so much from Mahesh as well, like every day. That test drive community, Mahesh I'm talking about, he's also a very good person.
Oh,
You
he's
guys are always a person who I'm looking up to, and I'm learning every day from you guys. So
well, Mahesh Chikne. A big shout out to you and the Test Tribe community. I mean, for me, Mahesh is a huge inspiration. Okay, he's and he's so fun to talk to. You have one conversation with him, you will be like, okay, a conversation with him is like a yoga routine. It just calms you down. It's like that.
exactly.
Okay, and it is always so genuine. So he is such a sorted person, you know,
Yeah,
and that makes life so easy.
exactly.
So
He understands the pulse of the opponent and he speaks based on that. That is one wonderful
yeah,
thing
yeah.
I have realized it.
So yeah, and he's been doing such an amazing work with the Test Drive community. The community has been doing brilliantly. FailConf is coming up
Mm.
next month.
Yeah,
Guys,
correct, Rajesh.
if you haven't registered for FailConf, well, please do so. If you want discount, use the discount code the Test Chat. I will mention that in the description. You can register for that. Um, we can definitely talk about the conference because we are the community partners there, the Test Chat community.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
so yeah. Well, thank you so much, Priscilla, for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajesh. Thank you
Really
so much
appreciate.
then. Take care, guys. Stay safe and see you all. Bye bye.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Just